Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. In this video, it is the second episode of the Rapper Report. In this one, you guys, we got some juicy stories. We got a couple birthday shout outs at the end, but the majority of this report is gonna be juicy, if I must say. With the first story, we're just gonna jump straight into it. I did touch on 50 Cent in the last one, but that was kind of for a positive thing. He was just saying happy birthday to Eminem. In this story, it's not so lighthearted. 50 Cent pretty much endorsed Trump on Monday when he found out what Biden's tax plan was for California. What the tax increase is in California, if you make $400,000 or more, your tax will increase by 62%. And for Curtis Jackson, that's just not gonna go right with him. So he's either voting for Trump, well, he is voting for Trump, and if he does not win, he's peacing out from California. I don't know much about taxes, but with this Biden's tax plan, it is if you make $400,000 or more, you will then have an increase of 62%. But from what I've heard regarding this whole tax plan, if you make more than $400,000, that increase will happen, but you most likely will not even pay that entire increase due to loopholes, tax write-offs. It still will be a higher increase than what you are paying currently probably right now in California, but it's not gonna be the full 62%. But also, if you're making like $400,000, you can't just give back a little bit to the people who need some, you know? The most disrespectful part about the entire post is when Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, decided to just say, like, I don't care if Trump likes black people or not. And that was I'd say the breaking point for some people. Some people can get behind you having your own political views, you know, if that's family, a close friend of yours, they might not see a political view as the breaking point in a friendship or family with them. But you know, when you go into the whole, I have political views, but I also just don't care if they support our community or not, that's when it starts to rub people the wrong way. The post that 50 Cent made on IG actually has a warning message now when you click on it. It says that the conclusion that the fact checkers came to when reviewing his post is that the post is missing context. It says that the graphic shows top tax rates by state only for high income earners, which is something 50 Cent did not mention in his caption on his IG post. All he said is they're increasing California's tax by 62%. He only mentioned that there's going to be an increase on your taxes in California, not saying if you make a certain amount of money, which could lead people who are only going to him for some reason for news to think something and maybe not vote for Biden, which hopefully is not the case, being that we've been able to vote for a couple weeks now before 50 Cent went and did this stupid stuff. But hey, who knows, you know? I don't think I touched on this in the last report, but Ice Cube has kind of been in the ringer this past 2 weeks, I would say, with who he is supporting if he's helping Trump behind the scenes. But with all of that coming to light, Eric Trump took to Twitter to post a photograph of Ice Cube and 50 Cent supposedly, allegedly wearing Trump hats. And Instagram noticed that. Definitely noticed that. I don't know how new this feature is when it comes to Instagram, but when you look at this post on Instagram of the photo of Ice Cube and 50 Cent, it is blurred out. When you click on the post, just like you click on the one for 50 Cent, there's a warning sign that pops up at the bottom of the post, and it reads, see why fact checkers say this is an altered photo. When you click on that to see why it's an altered photo, it states that Ice Cube and 50 Cent never wore Trump hats. The actual photo of Ice Cube and 50 Cent is of Ice Cube wearing a Big 3 hat and 50 Cent's wearing a New York hat, which is just kind of a little funny to me, because in the same post that 50 Cent made regarding vote for Trump because Biden's tax plans are outrageous, he also says, F New York, the Knicks don't even win. So, you know, hey. But this is very helpful, and I'm really happy that Instagram has implemented this. It's just kind of sad though that a lot of social media platforms, just internet platforms, are having to start implementing these into their websites. Yelp has actually done something kind of like this. They put up a banner or something now if you come across a business on their website that has been in some racial issues, if they've done some racist things, said some racist things, that will pop up to kind of help the person be aware of that. Ice Cube finally saw the tweet from Eric Trump with the picture of them supposedly wearing these hats, and he quote tweeted it. He just simply said this, which Mr. JD Sharp, radio host for the Vegas Take, then replied asking if Ice Cube is not actually a courageous and great American, since he could not understand what Ice Cube meant when he replied with this. On to much lighthearted news, Kodak Black did announce, we all know not straight from his mouth since we can't get anything from him, but from his team, he is going to be coming out with a new album pretty soon, as well as with a docuseries, which is pretty interesting to me. I don't know how he'll lead an album into a docuseries, but we shall see. The docuseries should be coming out sometime this week. That way it leads into the album, which is set to drop on November 11th. We don't quite know if that's a for sure set in stone date, but hey, we have somewhat of a date for a new Kodak album. If you guys are happy, let me know about that. The last album we did get from him was 2 years ago, called Dying to Live, and I'm just excited, I guess, to see what comes on this album. If there's maybe even any features, that would be very interesting, being that he has been locked up this whole time. He will be locked up as it comes out probably. I've been trying to figure out like when he's set to even come out. I don't know. He was just recently moved to a different facility, so hopefully he's doing much better there. And back to not so lighthearted news. I'm so sorry guys, it's like a roller coaster in this report. But Young Thug's driver is threatening a lawsuit against him and his parent label 300 Entertainment. Allegedly what had happened was back in May, Young Thug invited his driver to a party and he went. He ended up getting into an argument with Lil Duke, who's also signed to YSL, Young Thug's label. The driver ended up leaving the party. That way it didn't escalate into anything else further than an argument. Young Thug eventually wanted to leave the party later on and he needed his driver to do so. He called his driver back. When his driver came back is when the alleged assault had happened. The driver is telling his team and also the parent label 300 that when he went back to the party is when, like I said, the alleged assault had happened. He says he was repeatedly punched, he was kicked, he had a bottle of alcohol slammed over his head, and with all that happening, he had to get surgery, which is why he is now trying to come to some sort of settlement between his team and 300 Entertainment, which he says if that does not happen, he will then go ahead and file the lawsuit, which is just beyond crazy to me. Young Thug, Lil Duke, no one has responded though to the comments, but the only thing that really stood out to me in this whole story was that Young Thug invited his driver to a party in Los Angeles in May, when LA's cases were at a steady pace of like 1,000 cases a day. One day in May, they even hit over 2,000 cases. So why they were out partying is beyond me. I feel like a lot of people on YouTube held TikTokers, YouTubers, you know, just your basic average influencers. They held them accountable when it came to partying. Did it stop them? No, it did not, but at least it was acknowledged. But when it comes to, you know, these big, well-known celebrities, artists, I don't feel like they were held accountable as much. And maybe they have something to do with why LA just cannot get it together, you know? This is not something that had happened over the week, over the weekend. It is something that will actually be happening tomorrow. I will be getting this uploaded Monday, so on Tuesday, it's gonna happen. The BET Hip Hop Awards are finally back on. I'm so excited to watch them, but I just wanted to let you guys know, since this will be uploaded Monday, if you guys are interested clearly in a rapper report, you're probably gonna be interested in watching the Hip Hop Awards, so I just wanted to let you guys know about that. It is on at 8 p.m. Central Time, so if you live in Arizona, it will be on at 6 p.m. I just really liked this story. I thought it was funny. Busta Rhymes was trying to challenge T.I. to a battle in the verses, and T.I. respectfully declined it. He says that he thinks that the generational age gap is just way too big for them, and he also said that he thinks that Busta Rhymes and Twista in a versus battle is what would be it, which I also agree with. I also agree with the generational age gap just being too big. I don't see Busta and T.I. doing a battle together. It just doesn't seem like it would be fair in a certain way, if you guys know what I mean. But Busta replied back. He acknowledged that T.I. respectfully declined it. I don't think he was very happy with it, and I don't think he agreed with the generational age gap, I guess. He was just seeing it as like T.I.'s not trying to get his butt whooped, which, okay, you can take it that way as well. But one thing Busta said is that he is still down to battle anyone, and also he'll battle 2 artists at a time. He's down with whatever. So I just thought that was really funny. Busta's just trying to battle someone give Busta the battle he is asking for. So I had heard about this story and I was just non-stop laughing about it, just because multiple things within the story are hilarious. Miley Cyrus has said that she did see a UFO at one time. She says that she was driving through San Bernardino with her friend and they were being chased by an alien spaceship, which I need to know who the friend was. Can the friend back up the statement? Because that would be something, in my opinion. She says she made eye contact with the extraterrestrial. She said that she literally saw the UFO. She saw the person sitting inside of it, like the driver, and made straight eye contact with them, which is what really shook her, was making eye contact with something that she couldn't make sense of, which I could only imagine. One thing that Miley did say could have played a role in it though was that she had just recently bought weed wax from a guy in a van outside a taco shop. So, you know, I'm gonna have to go with I don't believe that. I don't think that the weed wax made her see the UFO. I think the weed wax helped her see that UFO, if you guys get what I'm saying. I think it's quite weird because Miley Cyrus actually said he had seen a UFO as well back in October of 2011. He tweeted out a link with a photo. I cannot pull up the photo, I don't know why, but he tweeted out, "My first UFO sighting looks like 5 or 6 disc-like shapes hovering. Special moment for dad." And I just thought it was really odd because Miley is coming out in October saying that she had seen a UFO once. Back in October of 2011, her dad said he just saw a UFO. We don't know, I guess, when Miley said she had seen this, if it was literally this month, if it was years ago, months ago, days ago, weeks ago. We don't know, seconds ago. But I just think it's odd that both cases are talked about in the month of October. The next 2 stories are gonna be about album releases that just happened on Friday. When I heard about this, oh my goodness, I was over the moon. Ty Dolla $ign just released an album on Friday titled featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Like, iconic. When I think of Ty Dolla $ign, I also think of Wale. I think that these 2 artists are so underrated, and whenever they're featured on people's songs, they just elevate their songs. So now we have a full-on album from Ty Dolla $ign. It's about 25 songs, I believe, and he has guests featuring Kid Cudi, Post Malone, Quavo, Anderson .Paak, Lil Durk, Nicki Minaj, Big Sean, Roddy Ricch, Future, Young Thug, Kalani, Gunna, and many others that I know I am missing, but that lineup, you guys, is just sickening. The next album that was released on Friday, you guys just wait for it, grab your chairs, the Beastie Boys. They just released a new greatest hits compilation on Friday, which has 20 songs from their 30-year journey. I am super excited because I definitely want to go listen to that because 20 hit songs from the Beastie Boys. Next up is the birthday segment. In the last report, I talked about Eminem's birthday happening, and I thought, hey, let's go over a lot of artists that I can find whose birthdays are going on each day of the week in the prior week. So here we are. We had on Monday the 19th, Lil Durk, he turned 28. Tuesday on the 20th, we had NBA YoungBoy, he turned 21. He's literally younger than I am. A$AP Ferg turned 32, and Snoop Dogg turned 49. Just a iconic legend. You know, I'm glad to be alive while Snoop is. Wednesday on the 21st, we had Doja Cat, who turned 25. Thursday the 22nd, Roddy Ricch, who turned 22. So that's like a special birthday. His birthday's on the 22nd. He turned 22. He's still younger than I am, but now we're the same age. So, you know, they're doing big things with their lives. What am I doing with my life? Friday on the 23rd, we had Miguel, who is turning 35. I know he's not a rapper, but there are a couple little artists I dropped in here as well. Drake on Saturday, as many of you must know, on the 24th, he turned 34. So like I said in the last report, I think Certified Lover Boy should be dropping anytime soon. On Sunday, the 25th, we had Katy Perry's birthday. She turned 36, and the lovely, beautiful Ciara, who turned 35. That is it though for this report. I hope you guys learned a little something. Let me know in the comments what topic you did think was the most interesting, what was the most craziest thing I talked about. And like I said, all those birthday shout outs, so happy birthday to all those artists. That is it. If you guys did enjoy watching, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell down below so you're updated every time I upload a new video. All my socials are linked down below, so make sure you give them a follow, along with petitions and donation sites. That way you can continue your support for the Black Lives Matter movement. That is it, you guys. Peace.